I'm sure that factored in, plus what the governor did in closing the state parks. Can you talk more what went on in the? I know you've talked to Judge Henry about that, and that's part of your district there. Let's talk about what went in the decision to make that call.
Well, you're exactly right, TJ. I mean, we have been hesitant to close the beaches, and as you see, we're the last ones to do it. Um, we we tripled the the patrols. We had 4 sheriff's units and 4 constable units over the last 10 days, and we were seeing very few 50 cars one day, 30 cars one day, as high as 70 cars. But that spread over 27 miles is not a lot of people. But as you know, the governor 2 days ago closed all the state parks. And given the myriad of challenges and heightened risk of operating the beaches at this time, we believe it's the best course for the citizens of the state, as they did the parks, the citizens of the county, and our Bolivar residents.
How is this going to be enforced? Is the sheriff and the constable's office going to put more patrols out there? How's this going to work?
Well, of course, it's actually easier to enforce closing the beach than it is to make sure they're practicing social distancing, because if they can, as fast as they can drive the beaches, they can turn the folks away and tell them the beaches are closed. We've already met with Lee Crowder. He's had signs made, and we have sawhorse barricades that are going up at 52 beach access points on the peninsula with signs that say beaches closed, entrance prohibited, $500 fine if caught. So, but we're not interested in fining the people. We're putting that there to try to make the people turn around and then understand it really is closed. What we're going to do is, again, the sheriff's patrol will drive the beaches and ask the folks to leave. And of course, if you have someone that won't leave, then as a last resort, they will be fined.
Of course, obviously, the same question came up when Galveston made its decision about, well, why not just keep it open for locals? But as I understand it, the state won't let you make a choice of saying locals only and outsiders only. It's got to be keep it open or totally shut it down. Is that right?
Well, and we've been in contact with Natalie Bell at the GLO, who's in charge of the beach access and dune protection plan, and she was saying we could close it to vehicular traffic and not pedestrian traffic. Well, it just gets to become an enforcement issue. And so to your question, yes, we're closing it to everyone, because otherwise the sheriffs would have to be stopping the people and saying, "Let me see your driver's license." And we just can't do that. So this way we can turn them away and tell them they need to leave the beaches. You just passed a beach closed sign.
Right. And again, it's not about fining people or arresting people. It's only those who get belligerent or who just refuse to cooperate who may face an issue then with law enforcement.
Absolutely. And through this trying time, we as a commissioner's court and the sheriff have worked diligently to facilitate access to the beaches. But I think it's time that we close them. And incidentally, we're closing them for a week at a time so that we can reevaluate this on a weekly basis.
And this is not too much different from what Judge Henry had talked about with the emergency orders to begin with. He'd hope he can rescind them early at any given time if things improve at this point. So again, this was not a reaction to anything in particular that was happening there on the beaches. It was just when the governor made the decision to close down the state parks, and as things progressed, that was what kind of weighed in on this decision then.
Well, and 2 other things. We've got Easter weekend. People are off, obviously, but it's a 3-day weekend, so even the people that are working are off, and with no churches. So we were concerned about, sunrise services. Yeah, bigger crowds, people off work, that even the people that may be working are going to be off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because it's a big holiday weekend. People are out of church. We're concerned about people gathering for sunrise services on the beach, things of that sort. So we just thought it's best that we do it.
And will there be any type of signage at the ferry landing coming from the Galveston side as well, or just at those points, those access points along the on the Bolivar Peninsula?
Right now, it's just at each access point. We thank you for helping us get it out there. But I think the word will spread. Um, but we don't have the ability at the ferry landings to do that because that's state.
Right.
But yeah, so hopefully this will help get the word out.
And then obviously you can understand this being in your district. There's, Bolivar was kind of like the last, I guess, oasis that wasn't really affected by a lot of the emergency orders and outside of the normal, hey, don't gather here, non-essentials and stuff. But folks have been pretty much on their own. A lot of folks there depend on having folks coming down to the beach or doing rental houses and the like. What are you hearing, or as you built up to this decision, or that the commissioners and the county judge ultimately made the decision from the businesses over there, how they're weathering all of this at this time?
Well, the judge is at the top of the ladder, and he had the ultimate authority to make this decision alone. But he's been hesitant to do that, and he's left it kind of to me as the commissioner of that precinct. And I've been hesitant to do it because you talk to the folks who are trying to make it via some commerce. There's a fine line between the health and safety of the residents and the general public versus the last little bit of commerce left. So I think I'm answering your question.
Yeah.
But to me, I said it's 50-50. As many want it closed for their own protection. You have those that are wanting to protect the last little bit of commerce and want it left open.
Gotcha. Well, I know it's a tough call on everyone on that. You and I talked right before we did this interview here as the orders were being drawn up. Hopefully it doesn't last much longer than that. But again, just so folks understand that the beaches on Bolivar Peninsula will close down 12:01 Friday morning and will stay closed until the 17th, reopen. And I appreciate your time, Commissioner, and you be safe. I should point out, I know that it's it for everybody right now. A little bit different world for everybody going on right now.
Well, thank you, and you stay healthy, and we appreciate all you do to help us get the word out.
All right, County Commissioner Daryl Apfel has been on with us here this afternoon.